Hey everyone, it is time for another episode of AI Advisor Tools, where we help you as the financial advisor save time, save money, and show you the latest AI tools to better scale and grow your financial practice. My name is Brian Bogner. I'm an independent financial advisor, just like many of you, and these are the tools that we use in our practice. And today's tool is called Copilot for Microsoft Edge, and it's actually an update. We did an earlier video on using Bing and how it's integrated with ChatGPT. Well, they've made some significant upgrades here recently, and I want to go over a couple of them with you and how they help. Why is this important? Because if you don't already know, Microsoft is coming out with this thing called Copilot. And basically in 365, all their apps, Office, everything else, you're going to have ChatGPT and the whole AI world infused in to everything that you are doing there. So if you want to create a document or create a presentation, you'll go right into PowerPoint or whatever it is that you're using, Excel, and you need to analyze data. It's all going to be integrated in. As like right now, you got to kind of start here, cut and paste, put in something else. And so they're already releasing a very basic version here in Microsoft Edge. And Microsoft Edge has been my favorite browser for a long time. I know people are like, what? You know, I use Chrome or I use this or that. I find it one of the most quickest, or is that really a word? The quickest, less hog on your resources in your computer. I'm one of these people that I always have like 50,000 tabs open at a time, and my computer chugs along just fine. So I've been a big fan for a while, and I've been real excited about these upgrades that they're making and infusing in AI into this. So let's go over a couple things that I think will help you tremendously here. All right. So here's an article from the Wall Street Journal, right? Bond route drives 10-year treasury yields to 5%. Now, and I'll scroll down in this article here and you can kind of see what's going on, right? There's ads, there's copy, but you know, look, you gotta write, you're going to have to spend a few minutes reading this. And one thing we said, right, the whole purpose of these AI tools is to help save you time. So I'm looking at this page right now. I'm browsing on it. I can just pop over here into my Copilot and I can say, summarize this page into bullet points. We'll just start there. Let's see what happens. Summarize this page into bullet points. And let me hit enter. And here it is, searching your page for information. All right, so it is now looking at this page that I'm looking at. So I don't have to copy before, you know, I'd have to copy things out, put it over into another thing and look at, you know, whatever and all this other kind of stuff and things like that. In this case, I'm just browsing. I come over, I pop on this thing right here, and it will summarize the page. So as you can see here, it's doing that for me. Now, one thing I will tell you that I learned the hard way, it does not save your conversations. So if let's say you read this and you want to put out a blog post to your clients on, you know, treasury yields and things like that going higher, and this is a good thing for you to start with, you will need to come over here and copy this out of here and paste it into whatever it is that you're doing. It won't, like, if the moment I leave this page and come back to it, I'm going to lose everything that I'm doing over here. Okay, so just keep in mind that when you do that, but very quick and easy now to summarize a web page that you're there. So let's say you decide to copy this into, and you're going to go ahead and do a blog post. This is pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and click here. I don't know, we'll pop over here and I'm going to say, now it still has the information here, but I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, you know, let's say I want to title the blog post, you know, I don't know. Well, actually, you know, let's go a step further. I totally forgot to mention this. You have the chat, which we've been using. You also have this compose function here. Okay. So you could actually take, well, here it is right here. We could take this. Okay. We could copy this over here. Okay. You can come into compose and now you've got a lot of options here. All right. And you could say, write about, and you could, now you only have 2,000 characters you can put in here, but you could put something in here and say, write me paragraph, bullet points, maybe a LinkedIn post, report, something like that. I want it to be maybe casual, professional, right? And we went over this a little bit in the previous one. So you can actually use this to help actually write your blog post that you want to do. But here's the really cool thing that I want to show you here. Okay. Let's say you want to title it, I don't know, interest rates, are rocketing over the moon, okay, or something like that, and you want to go ahead and put a graphic. This is what's so cool, is now you can create images in this here. So create an image of a rocket shooting over the moon. We'll just start very basic here and see what happens, okay? While it is doing that and thinking about that, I just want to tell you and remind you, of course, AI Advisor Tools is sponsored by the Fiduciary Alliance. And the Fiduciary Alliance, what we do is we help advisors transition out of the bad situation that they're in, provide them a platform, we give them flexibility, allow them to scale, and most importantly, grow their practice. You can learn more at fiduciaryalliance.org. Here we go. The image is generating here. It does take a little bit of time. As you know, this is some pretty heavy, but there you go. So it's a space shuttle they decided to use, and it's on the moon and it's rocketing. You could even come back and say, use a traditional rocket ship in space shooting over the moon. All right. So instead of like maybe the space shuttle, let's see if we could use a traditional rocket ship. Just curious to see if happens there. I'll try to create that. Here's an image of a traditional rocket ship shooting over the moon. I hope you like it. All right, let's see what's going on. Here it is. Okay, so anyway, you can iterate. That's the nice thing about AI. You always start somewhere. You don't have to be perfect. You can keep iterating. And sometimes if you give it something to work with, and it will do a better job iterating for you. So again, 365. Okay, there you go. There's some images there you could potentially use. There's your image for your blog post. You can write it, and get something out. So if you think about in the past, you'd had to read this entire article, then you have to sit down with a blank sheet of paper, write these things out. Now you can basically get in, cut so much time out, and you can get something to your clients that's relevant for them right now. Yeah, interest rates are popping. They're moving up, and it's important, right? It's important for everything that we're doing. Also, I'm going to put a link in the description, but there's a great video here on YouTube. It's only 1.5 minutes, and it talks about Copilot, talks about some of the changes that are coming for your 365, and I think it's definitely worth a watch. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop there with this episode. Thank you so much for watching in, and we will see you next week.